Hey friends, and welcome back to the Rice Family YouTube channel. Today is day 4 of our family road trip, and this one is such a fun family day. But it also takes a little bit of an unexpected turn at the end. We're spending the day exploring 2 amazing places in Phoenix, Arizona, a terrain park that is perfect for kids, and the Phoenix Zoo. But by the end of the night, we'll come back to something we definitely weren't expecting, and it was completely changed all of our plans. So let's jump into day 4. Our first outing of the day is a park called the McCormick-Stillman Railroad Park in Scottsdale. And this place is truly such a gem for families. This park is centered around trains, but it's so much more than that. It's a large open park with space. There's playgrounds, walking areas, train displays, and multiple activities for kids. It's one of those places where you can spend a couple hours or even most of the day, depending on what you choose. One of the things I really appreciate about this park is how many free activities are available. You can enjoy the playground, the open grassy areas, walking paths, looking at the train exhibits. There are real train cars on display that kids can see up close, which makes it both fun and educational. There's also a few paid attractions, and these are definitely worth it if your kids enjoy hands-on experiences. These include the miniature train ride around the park, and the carousel, and sometimes seasonal or additional activities depending on the time of the year. The train ride is probably the highlight for most kids, and it takes you on a loop of the whole park and gives different perspectives of the space. For our family, this stop was a great mix of letting the kids move, having something structured and fun, and still keeping things relaxed. It's also a great place to take a break from hiking or just enjoy a slow-paced outing in a very kid-friendly place. It does get warm here, as it does in Arizona, so we were really happy to be able to spend the morning doing this. We were here for about 2 hours, and it was a great fun activity for kids of all ages. Truly, my youngers really enjoyed things like the carousel and the train ride, where my olders just loved seeing the exhibits in the museum, especially the miniature train building. So cute. Loved it. This train park is literally 30 acres in the middle of town and has lots of grass to roam and trees to sit under, and the playgrounds are super spot on for theme. Also, I would like to tell you that because it has such amazing places to sit and eat lunch, they don't have lots of food provided in the area, so bring a lunch, eat with your family, enjoy the day. It's so fun. The last thing that I think would be really fun to check out, depending on what time of the year you're going to visit, is that they have really cool looking events at their park, like tents by the track, so to camp there, or slide the rails for a water themed thing in August, or Tracks in the Tunes, and that is live music in April and May. They have something in October for Halloween, holiday lights in December, November, New Year's Eve, so come celebrate it in the middle of the day instead of waiting until night. I mean, that seems like a win for sure. They have some other really cute little ones, but they are just dependent on the time of the year. And because our family cannot pass up an opportunity to make this educational and learn about history, I want to share a little bit of the history behind this place because it really adds a lot of meaning to what you're seeing here. This area was once part of what is known as the McCormick Ranch, and its story actually begins back in the 1940s. Between 1942 and 1954, a couple named Anne and Fowler McCormick began assembling a large amount of land right here in Scottsdale area. And when I say large, I mean large. By the time Anne passed away in 1969, the ranch covered nearly 7 square miles. That is over 4,000 acres of land. which included hundreds of acres of irrigated farmland, water systems for livestock, and open spaces for animals and wildlife. And this vast amount of acres wasn't just open land, it was a working ranch. They raised purebred Arabian horses, which are known for their beauty and endurance, and they raised Angus cattle, which is still one of the most well-known beef breeds today. And this farm-loving family was so interested to learn about that. So this land that we're walking through and enjoying this train park at right now, where kids are literally playing and riding carousels and doing all the fun activities, was once a part of a functioning ranch with animals and agriculture, and daily work happened here. Furthermore, another really interesting thing behind this family, Fowler McCormick was actually the grandson of John D. Rockefeller, one of the most influential businessmen in American history. But there was another connection that's just as important. Fowler's grandfather on the other side was Cyrus McCormick, who invented the mechanical reaper. And that's the invention that completely changed farming. Before that, harvesting grain was extremely labor-intensive and slow, but the reaper made it possible to harvest crops much more effectively, which helped actually shape agriculture, not just in America, but around the world. So this family was deeply connected to both industry and agriculture, which made it really fitting that they built something like this ranch. I think it's important for us to talk about the legacy and the influence that our family has before us so that we can connect that to our children and encourage them on the legacy that they can leave after them. Okay, so the main horse operation at this ranch were actually located near what is now the Scottsdale Road and Northern Avenue. And today that area has been developed into housing and community spaces. So what we're actually seeing today is really a transformation from a working ranch to a place where families now come together and play and enjoy time together. After spending the morning at the park, we packed up and headed to our next stop of the day. Next is the Phoenix Zoo. This is a really well done zoo, especially for families. The Phoenix Zoo is one of the largest privately owned zoos in the United States. It has a wide variety of animals and habitats, and the layout is designed in such a way that makes it easy to walk through the different sections. One thing that has been really helpful to our family, and I hope is helpful to yours, is that if you have a zoo membership from your local zoo, many of them participate in a reciprocal program. That means that you can get free admission or discounted admissions at other zoos across the area and across the country. So we purchased an Oregon Zoo membership because that is where my parents live. And so we went to see the Oregon Zoo, which then got us into the Idaho Falls Zoo for free, the Boise Zoo for free, and the Phoenix Zoo for half off each ticket, which, if you know, zoo tickets are not affordable, or cheap, I should say. So having this kind of membership really helps if you have several trips planned out in the year. Also, check out if you have a zoo membership. They usually do partnerships with different local resources. For example, if you have an Oregon Zoo membership, once a month, and it rotates every month of the year, you get to go check out another place within Oregon for free. So when we were visiting our family and we went to the Oregon Zoo, we also got to get into the Oregon Aquarium for free that month. So just look on their web pages. Sometimes they have some really cool different opportunities for families to be able to utilize the memberships well. This, of course, is on top of when you have memberships, you get discounts inside of the zoo, whether that is in their snacks area or rentals for different things. So if you get a membership, use that membership. It will save your family money, and it might inspire you to go see some other things in the area. During our time at the Phoenix Zoo, we spent time walking through the zoo, seeing different animals, and just enjoying being together. Make sure to bring a stroller. I think that was a must for our trip today. We got to carry different water and resources for the babes that needed it. Also gave them like a covered space for the sun, so that was great. Zoos are always a great opportunity for kids to learn about different types of animals, habitats, how animals are cared for, and it's just one of those experiences that blends fun and education really naturally, but you have to be intentional to ask questions, to point out things, and to really just cultivate that conversation. After a full day at the zoo, we headed back to the house. We were really ready to relax, have dinner, and settle in for the evening. But when we got back, we realized we had no hot water in the house. And this wasn't just like a quick fix. I guess this problem happened to them with the last week, and they sent someone out and it just didn't get fixed. So that meant like cleaning dishes and showering was not going to happen. And with a large family, that becomes pretty immediate issue. So the Airbnb found another house in sort of the local area. And this whole thing was one of those moments where flexibility really mattered when you were traveling. We reached out again to the Airbnb and they worked through the situation with us and we ended up moving. But before we moved, we enjoyed the paddle boats and played in the backyard. We didn't really want to just rush, and they had to prepare the house for us. So we spent some time outside getting that in. We did need to pack everything up, which was a little bit of an inconvenience, but like I said, flexibility is the name of the game. The new place we moved to was closer to Scottsdale, so we did a little back and forth, which worked out well. Actually, you'll find out for the next part of our trip, but it did mean repacking, moving everything, and resettling again, which is not always easy after a full day. But even though the day didn't end the way that we had originally expected, there was still so much good in it. And we had a fun, relaxing morning at the park. We had a full and educational afternoon at the zoo. We had time together as a family at the first Airbnb. And what you'll see here in a moment is that the next Airbnb actually turned out to be a bigger house with a hot tub and a pool. They had some mini golf areas and a billiards pool inside. It had a larger eating area for us as a family, which was nice. So turning lemons into lemonade and enjoying whatever gets thrown at us. We are here as a family to not only enjoy ourselves, but to make every lesson an intentional teaching opportunity to show our children that things are going to happen in life. Things are going to come up and it is going to throw wrenches into your plans, but you need to just figure out how to roll with it, how to turn every situation into something that is God glorifying. I hope that as we share our trips and our travels and lessons learned in it all, that it is an encouragement to you and your family to get out and make adventures together. So thank you guys for following along with our day 4 adventure. I know you're going to be thrilled to find out what happens on day 5. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you'll get notified when it comes up. And if you are visiting Phoenix with your kids, both of the McCormick-Stillman Railroad Park and the Phoenix Zoo are definitely worth adding to your list. And in the next video, we'll continue on from our new location and share what comes next. I'll see you in the next video.